What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Saturday was crazy, guys. For those of you who were in the live stream, especially for those of you who were in the live stream for a very long time like I was, all I want to say really right now is just thank you. Thank you so much. Especially to the people, one, who donated. I didn't even ask you to donate, and you still did that. That just illustrates what type of people you guys really are, and you guys are very amazing people. More importantly, though, anyone who stayed in the live stream over like for a very long time and who actually got to the Yeezy supply drop with me and copped, you know? So today I'm going to be going over what I did on Saturday, all the methods I used to cop, and where I took L's, where I took W's. I'm going to be going over all the jigs that I used. For instance, there was a Barneys jig that I taught you guys how to do. There was a LTE jig for Yeezy supply, and that's how you get into Yeezy supply, like, immediately. And then there was also a multiple people jig for Adidas, and basically with that one, it was just like, so many people were taking W's. The amount of people who took W's on this release was actually greater than the one on the Beluga 2.0s. I guess it was the live stream that really helped. I kept clarifying on all the tips and tricks. So, first of all, before I even start, let me know down in the comments, did you take a W or did you take an L? Because look, if you took an L, it's really not the biggest deal in the world. Because there is tons of heat releasing in the future, so if you took an L, don't worry about it, guys. Like, power phases are coming up, and, you know, they're going to be really easy to obtain. So there you go. You could get a Yeezy right there. In addition to that, if you took a W, congratulations. Like, I'm really impressed. I'm more impressed of the fact that in the live stream, with the multiple people jig that I taught you guys, the amount of people who copped more shoes than me was, like, beyond belief. You guys, like, so many of you took W's, and it was insane. So comment that down below. Alright, so we're going to go through all the jigs that I used, all the strategies that I used. First thing we're going to be going over was the Barneys jig. Now, the Barneys jig we set up first at the end of the night, and basically you got a shoe in your cart, you got the blue tints in your cart, and you just have to wait until 10 o'clock in the morning to check them out. And that's 10 o'clock Eastern time. Any times I use is Eastern time. So a lot of people kept wanting me to re-explain it in the live stream, even though I explained it like 10 times. But the reason I didn't want to re-explain it for those who didn't understand, if you didn't understand it, it was probably better that you didn't do it, just because it would waste too much time, especially because at 10 o'clock there were other foot sites that were dropping, such as Kicks USA. Definitely use that for next time, guys. Kicks USA, so many people took W's. But for the Barneys jig, I'm going to tell you what we did, like how some of the people actually copped. I took an L on Barneys. I don't know how, but I just couldn't check out. I couldn't process the payment. But so what we did for the Barneys jig, we made an account, one, so it could save our carts. Then we picked any random shoe. It didn't matter what shoe, and we would add that to our cart. Then when we would go over to it in our cart, we would click the image and we would click inspect. The way you did that was right-clicking on Windows or clicking like with 2 fingers on Mac. After you click inspect, all this complicated stuff comes down. But there was no need to worry because you could use Control F to search for keywords essentially in there. And what you would search for was data-prod for data product. And they had a number up there, that of which I do not remember. I'll put it on the screen. And you have to switch out that number for the blue tints. And I don't know how that number got leaked, but it did, and a lot of people in the stream got W's because of this jig. So you switch that out, but you have to do it 4 times, and then after that you just X the thing out, and then you just head it on over to edit, and then you were able to edit and pick whatever size you want. And basically it was sitting in there until 10 in the morning. Tons of you took W's there, so I'm happy I was able to teach that to you, even though I took an L. I taught you guys the jig, but I took an L. Isn't that ironic? Okay, so after that, then we got to the foot sites. The foot sites included, like, other than Barneys, obviously, Kicks USA, Foot Locker, Foot Action, Champs, any of those sites. There were tons of them. So I find it really difficult to win on any of these foot sites, but I try it anyways just because you could have splash pages running in the background, and in addition to that, the Adidas splash didn't even go up because the guy who was in charge of setting it up was like hungover or something like that. So everything was a little late. But Kicks USA, guys, this is what I would recommend for the future if there's not another Barneys jig in the future. Kicks USA at 10 o'clock. There's a queue just like Adidas, and with that queue, it's like, I think it is first come, first serve, unlike Adidas where it's random. But it's just a really simple checkout, unlike on eSpace, say, where you try to check out and it just doesn't let you add it to cart. Alright, with that out of the way, now we're going on to Yeezy Supply. Yeezy Supply was actually earlier, so I don't really know why I didn't mention this earlier. But with Yeezy Supply, I created a jig, and I shared it with all of you, and I named it the LTE jig for long-term evolution on your phone. Basically, it was so you could get into Yeezy Supply as soon as possible. Literally, you would be in before the Yeezy Mafia tweet, because if you were in after the tweet, chances of you copying were very slim. So in addition to the LTE jig, you could have tried Page Monitor, could have tried Visual Ping. For me, those were delayed, so I didn't even bother to use them. But let me show you how I did the LTE jig, because you're going to definitely be able to use this in the future. On every single future release on Yeezy Supply, this will work, and I guarantee it. So, you switch your phone onto LTE. You don't want it on your Wi-Fi. And the reason I'm saying this is, you're going to be spamming it, basically. You're going to be clicking the bookmark for it, or just retyping Yeezy Supply and entering the domain multiple times. And that's because if you refresh the password page, it just keeps you on the password page, and that is Yeezy Supply /password. So you didn't want to refresh. You want to keep spamming the bookmark or just keep typing in Yeezy Supply. If you are on Wi-Fi, it would ban you really quick, first of all, and it would ban all the devices that were on your Wi-Fi. And that was the scary part. However, if you were on LTE, they couldn't track your IP address through that. They could ban your phone, but they couldn't ban the rest of your computer. So what I did, I just kept spamming it. So as soon as I got in, I switched over to my computer because I didn't have autofill on my phone. So I switched over to my computer, and I clicked on whatever size I saw first. It didn't even matter what size it was to me because I just wanted a W there. And I waited in line for like 2 or 3 minutes, and I finally checked out. So many of you took W's here. The amount of people who took W's here was really, really amazing. So I'm glad I shared this tip with you. Some of you took L's, and I understand that. But definitely use this tip to get into Yeezy Supply as soon as possible. You will be one of the first few people on Yeezy Supply. Moving on. This is my favorite jig. And I didn't come up with this jig, just letting you know. But I did find it, and I wanted to share it with all of you. Adidas.com. I showed you guys how to use the multiple people jig. Basically, I figured out that, or someone else also figured out, that they don't track you by your IP address. They track you by your cookies. And it all makes sense because I'm always advocating use as many devices as possible. But if you have like 10 devices on the same Wi-Fi, wouldn't you get banned, right? But clearly that's not the case. They track you by your cookies. So each individual computer or device has its own individual cookies. Or, in this case, each individual person you created had their own cookies. So you had an equal chance on every single person you created. So the way you create the people, so you know for the future, and guys, the amount of people who took W's in this was a lot higher than anywhere else. So many people got like 6 pairs, 3 pairs, 2 pairs. So let me show you how I set it up. In the top right of Google Chrome, you have to be in Chrome, I believe. I think Firefox does it too, or Safari might, I don't know. But let's just keep it simple. On Google Chrome, you go to the top right, and you'll see like a little person, or you might see your name, anything like that. Just click that, and then you go down and you see Manage People. Click Manage People. After you click Manage People, you'll see your little guy up there, I guess. And then you go to the bottom right, and there'll be an option to add person. So you add people. You do this multiple times, as much as your computer's RAM could support. So essentially what I'm saying is, as many people as you could create until your computer lags too much, because you want only one tab for adidas.com/Yeezy for each individual person. You don't want more than that, otherwise you do risk getting banned because they're on the same cookies. So you want one per person. I had like 6 going on one computer, but on another computer that's really good, I had like 12 going. And I got in so many times the amount of times I got in was far higher than any time I've tried before with just one per device. So definitely use this tip for the future. And I will be doing a live stream for the next drop, so I'll show you guys how to do it again, so don't worry about that. But there were some loops. So we were able to get in like so many times, but Adidas.com this time was so bad. It was honestly the worst I've ever seen it. And of course, Adidas.com has to have bad checkouts and bad CAPTCHA loops the one time we figure out how to get in unlimited times. It's kind of annoying if you ask me. So one loop was the CAPTCHA, and I'm going to be showing you how you could get out of all these loops except for the CAPTCHA. The CAPTCHA loop I got stuck in multiple times, and I couldn't get out of it. I physically could not get out of the CAPTCHA loop. For one, I just kept trying it, and I actually got past it. And another one, I refreshed, and I got sent back to the splash because I was in there for too long. But on another one, I refreshed as soon as I got the CAPTCHA loop, and I actually got past it. So that's a tip. If you haven't been in there for too long, just refresh, and you should be able to pick your size. And just a way to avoid CAPTCHA, I guess be signed in on Chrome on all your people. It's going to be really tedious to do that, but it's worth it. And also, if you really want to put time into it, set up autofill for everyone, because there's no timer on Adidas.com, but, I mean, you want to be as fast as possible. And the reason I'm saying that is because so many people got the processing payment loop. I don't think it had to do with how long you were in there, but it's surely a variable that we could get rid of in the future by just, going faster. So set up autofill if you can. You don't have to do it on every person, maybe on a couple. But people were getting the processing payment issue. And guys, I didn't know how to get you out of it. What I did, and this was working for me, but you guys were saying it wasn't working for you. You would fill out all your info and you click processing payment, wouldn't process. All you guys have to do, and this is what I did, click back twice, refill your information, try to process again. If it didn't work, do it again. I did it 3 times and it finally worked, processed within like 30 seconds. But another thing I realized was a lot of you guys said you had the wrong name on your card, and that's because if you were using a friend's credit card, a dad's credit card, a mom's credit card, you would fill in the info for buying the shoe, like your address and all, with your name. So it would automatically put your name as the name on the card. So a lot of people forgot to change the name on the card for the name of, like, say their dad, their friend, or their mom. You guys have to make sure that name is the actual name on the card, because so many people were actually DMing me saying that this was a problem that they realized at the end that they wish they fixed. And in addition to that, someone, let me tell you his name, James Onth was his Instagram. He DM'd me with a way to efficiently get out of the processing payment loop. So there is a way. There is a way you could get out of the processing payment loop, believe it or not. And that is by, once you're like, you got it in your cart and everything, you have to sign into an account. So maybe you should set up multiple accounts beforehand if you're trying to get a lot of pairs. Sign into your account while you have it in your cart, right? And if it's not, say you're on Chrome, if it's not working there, switch over to Safari while you have that tab open on Chrome. Switch over to Safari, sign in there, and it should be in your cart, and then check out on Safari. So all you got to do is switch browsers, but you have to make sure you're signed in, guys. So that's it. That's how he said it worked for him on the processing payment loop. So for future releases, this is how you get out of the processing payment loop. And, I always advocate don't use PayPal. I know it's a fast checkout, but I always experience errors with it. So many of you people were experiencing errors, so I hope a lot of you guys listen and use debit and credit cards. So I also mentioned that you should use different payment methods, and a lot of people aren't getting their orders confirmed because they use PayPal multiple times. I don't know why you're not getting them confirmed yet, but I would venture to guess that you might have a couple of those orders canceled because you did use the same payment. You can use the same billing. You could use the same address. You shouldn't really use the same payment methods. You can, but I tried using the same credit card, and it wouldn't let me check out. Kind of ran out of credit cards, and then I tried to use PayPal, and I just got this error. It sent me back to this error page, so I don't like PayPal that much. And, of course, Adidas confirmed. I took an L on there. My reflexes are so slow. Yeezy Mafia tweeted out again what it was going to be. It was a blue skier. My reflexes suck, guys, so I took an L there. And all the raffles, I signed up everywhere. I did have 10-minute head starts on Foot Locker, Champs, and Foot Action. I got waitlisted on every single one and took L's. So obviously I don't have the best of luck. Signed up for packs on raffles, all those. Took L's. So again, the live stream, guys. I will be doing another live stream, but come on, guys. I got to say it again. Thank you so much to everyone who just showed up in the live stream. Even if it was for like 2 minutes. You guys were like telling me thank you for all the tips. Thank you for staying up for so long. Thank you for everything. Guys, I was having fun. You don't have to say thank you a million times. Like, I understand I helped you, but that was fun for me. Like, I enjoyed my time with you guys. Like, I loved interacting with you guys, so I'm definitely going to do one in the future. And, of course, guys, whoever donated, even if it was $1, that means so much to me, especially because I said don't donate. I literally had it in the description, do not donate, because I felt like you should be saving your money for Yeezys, you know. But obviously, a lot of you guys who took W's, you wanted to donate. So just thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And that's it, guys. I'll see you next time. Until next live stream. I will be doing unboxings. They are coming soon. See you later. And if you were wondering, I got 2 pairs off of Adidas, and I got 1 pair off of Yeezy Supply. So I only took 3 W's, and a lot of you guys took more, but, you know, I'm proud of you. Proud of all you guys.
The problem is transport. It takes very, very long, because Kazakhstan is big. Throw transport down the well.
Come on!